everyone, Dan Geltrude here, and welcome back to Token Money Magnet, the show where finance isn't just something you watch, it's something you own. We've reached the final chapter of our season 1 of our Token Money Magnet journey. Wow, heck of a journey it's been. You know, we've been breaking down complex financial innovations episode by episode. If you're a regular viewer, you know the drill. Grab your phone, scan that QR code, and download our app. With every episode, you're not just a viewer, you're a co-owner. Complete tasks, claim tokens, and be part of a community that's reshaping how we think about money.
Welcome to the Token Money Magnet mobile app. Getting started is simple. This is your dashboard. Here you can explore a list of episodes from our groundbreaking series, Token Money Magnet. Click on View Tasks under any episode to see the tasks aligned with it. To claim tokens, you need to link your social media accounts like Twitter, X, and YouTube. You can now start completing tasks. For every task you complete, points will be automatically credited to your wallet. Curious to see who's leading the race? Head over to the leaderboard section. Simply click on Watch Episode to enjoy exclusive content. Scan the QR code to download the app now and claim your tokens.
Today, we're going to talk about decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, and they're revolutionizing how we collaborate and make decisions in the Web3 space. Imagine a company where instead of the CEO making all the decisions, every member gets a vote using blockchain technology. Want to fund a new project? Members vote. Want to allocate resources? The community decides. That's the power of DAO. The DAO ecosystem saw a major transformation in 2024, according to Deep DAO, an analytics firm aggregating insights and data about DAOs. Total DAO treasuries reached $30.9 billion by May, with 359 organizations managing over $1 million each, and 36 exceeding $100 million. Participation also surged with over 500,000 active members globally, highlighting a shift towards more democratic, transparent, and community-driven governance.
Traditional companies operate with a top-down hierarchy. DAOs, or Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, are structured differently. In DAOs, governance and decision-making power are distributed among token holders who vote on proposals. DAOs operate based on smart contracts, automating processes, and ensuring all actions are recorded on the blockchain, creating unparalleled transparency. DAOs offer global collaboration, reduced bureaucracy, and increased efficiency, and explore the future of organizations with Token Money Magnet.
To unpack this revolutionary concept, we've got 3 incredible minds joining us today. First up is Rajesh, Dhuddu, a PwC partner and Forbes Blockchain 50 leader known for making complex technologies accessible and driving innovation across emerging tech landscapes. Also, we have Jason Fernandes, founder of AdLunam, a gamified social-fi platform that turns social interaction into ownership value, allowing users to earn IDO allocations. Then we have Shubham, CTO at Kalp Foundation, who's worked in Web3 since 2018 in the field of research, development, and protocol design of decentralized infrastructures. Together, they will help us understand DAOs and this futuristic decision-making innovation. So first, Jason, traditional organizations rely on hierarchical structures and centralized decision-making, which in some sense is good, but can also limit transparency and global participation. Today, DAOs are revolutionizing this. But how exactly does this work? How would you explain the core value proposition of DAOs to someone unfamiliar with DAO?
Sure. So I think in general, the whole concept of a DAO is that it's supposed to eliminate centralized control, giving power to the masses. So government governance is automated using smart contracts, ensures transparency, and then the members of that DAO vote on key decisions, and that sort of is what brings democracy into the whole system. So there's no intermediaries, it reduces bureaucracy and inefficiencies. So recently, a few people got together and tried to make a bid for a copy of the US Constitution. Essentially, it was known as Constitution DAO. So these are some of the things that are enabled if you use DAO as a technology.
Great. So, Rajesh, governance tokens grant voting rights in DAOs, but can lead to monopolies when large holders dominate decision-making. For instance, a single entity acquired 40% of voting tokens, prompting them to introduce caps on voting power per address. How can DAOs strike a balance between decentralization and preventing monopolies by large token holders, ensuring fair governance?
Absolutely. It's always a race between decentralization and controlled, right? And we're talking about a particular group of DAOs getting to 40% voting rights, and then their ability to control the overall voting mechanism. So that can also be managed in a way where you can look at enhancing the consent level. The consent level needn't be just at about 40%. You can up it to 50, 60% to ensure that the overall consensus is balanced out. That is one method of doing it. And we have seen that as far as the improvement proposals in various cryptocurrency organizations are concerned. That's number one. The other one is you can bring in a fair amount of a democracy by putting a cap on a particular group and ensure that a particular group does not exceed the others. Or maybe you can take the interests of the minor groups and give them an equal weightage regardless of the percentage of the voting rights that they had. This way you can balance it out.
The tokenization race is on. Some countries are sprinting ahead while others stumble at the starting line. Welcome to Token Money Magnet. Let's map the global regulatory landscape, reshaping digital assets right now. In Europe, MiCA leads the race with clear crypto rules. Dubai's VARA is building a regulatory paradise for blockchain. Singapore's MAS is balancing innovation with security. Meanwhile, the US is still at the starting line, figuring out its next move. Clear rules mean confident investors and thriving markets. Regulatory confusion. That means capital flight and missed opportunities. The right jurisdiction could make all the difference for your investment future. Token Money Magnet.
Okay, and over to you, Shubham. Decentralized networks sometimes need to make significant changes to their underlying technology. This can lead to disagreements and even splits within the community, where some create a fork of the network. How can these networks make big changes without splitting the community and making sure everyone agrees on the new direction?
Sure. So folks are not new in this whole Web3 space, right? There are different blockchains which are very popular right now. They have done soft forks and hard forks. Now, to clarify what are these, in a simple way, imagine there is a rule or there's a code of conduct through which the whole blockchain is running. Now, imagine now the founder or basically the team says that, okay, there is a new algorithm that has come and I need to add that new algorithm in the code. Now, being decentralized in nature, you have to convince everybody to add such code in your code, in your whole database or in your code that you're using, right? But imagine if a large chunk of users decides that, okay, this new change that you're adding is not acceptable by me. So that large chunk would say that I will run the previous version of the code. Now that creates a conundrum, because then what you have to do is half of the people would run the old protocol and then the other half would run the new protocol. So how do you solve such kind of forks and such kind of problem is through just one thing, which is clear communication. So if you tell the people that what you're doing is for the benefit of the whole foundation or for the benefit of the whole network, and you give them a proof by making sure that you have audited these new changes, and you clearly give this information to the whole community, that is how you convince everybody to go with the new changes. Now, this is one way to do it. In the current infrastructure frameworks that is out there in the market, and with the current new research that is there in the market, there are protocols or frameworks which are forkless. So for example, if you have a permission network, you can actually create a forkless network. So that's the whole point of it.
Rajesh, DAOs have trust and transparency advantages. However, the decision making can have challenges when token price becomes the focus of the community. Is there a way to mitigate this challenge for long-term growth to be balanced with profitable capital gain?
Yeah, absolutely. For that, we first need to understand how most of the token economies are architected, right? Most of the token economies are based on circular economy. So it's a function of supply and demand. In absence of a use case, what happens is, the price becomes very speculative, and some will take a good perspective on the token and some will not take not so good perspective on the token, which brings in the speculative elements. The way to address that is to focus on the use cases for which the DAO has been architected. There have been many use cases of DAOs where it has been architected to bring governance and transparency in a digital world. And if they focus on those kind of use cases and work seamlessly, diligently to deliver the use cases, then the attention can be taken away from the speculative nature of the token prices, and that's how you can completely neutralize the speculative elements and bring in terms of a fairness in the pricing mechanism of that particular token. That's how it needs to be done. I don't think there's any other rocket science to do that.
Welcome to Web3, the decentralized internet. At its core are protocols, the fundamental rulebooks that govern how everything operates. Think of protocols as shared languages and standards. They allow diverse, decentralized applications to communicate and function together harmoniously. Many Web3 protocols utilize smart contracts, self-executing agreements that enforce the rules without intermediaries, ensuring trust and transparency. Protocols are the invisible infrastructure powering the decentralized revolution. To understand the rules more, unlock the potential of Web3 with Token Money Magnet.
Jason, as the Web3 technology gets wider adoption, we will definitely see the DAO ecosystems growing, featuring multiple assets. So for each of these assets, how does decision-making take place? Does every token holder get voting rights for their respective assets?
Yeah, I mean, you could sort of structure it any way. So, for example, you can say that for DAO-wide decisions, essentially everybody gets an access to have a vote. But for very specific decisions on, let's say, a real estate purchase that the DAO is made, then only, let's say, people that have particular stakeholders within that real estate transaction can vote for that. And then also you can do things like ensure that the people with the, it's token weighted. So the people with the most amount of tokens have basically a greater say in what happens, particularly if they're stakeholders, particularly for that particular piece of real estate. Let's say that the DAO is purchased. So you can sort of structure it in any sort of way. The key thing is to ensure fairness and to ensure that people that are stakeholders in the whole system have a ability to vote on it, but then also people that are that only have an interest in a particular part of the DAO, that they can have a vote specifically in that as well.
So now it's on to my favorite part of each show, questions from our audience. So Rajesh, we'll start with you. For newcomers to Web3, understanding DAOs can be daunting. So what steps should the industry take to make DAO concepts more accessible and widely understood?
Yeah, in terms of the mechanisms that people can use are no different from the mechanisms which people have used in the past. Every time a new technology comes, there's a lot of hype that gets created around that particular technology. But, society at large has figured out a mechanism in terms of diffuse the knowledge pertaining to that technology. And we've gone through this multiple cycles, right? Whether it is .com, whether it is hyperlocal search, whether it is app-based commerce and stuff like that. So over a period of time, we've been able to disseminate technology pertaining to that. And now probably it is with regards to what we are doing from a Gen AI perspective. So in terms of if you are able to democratize the access to the knowledge and also identify some of the thought leaders in different places and then give them an opportunity to share information, or maybe an initiative just like what we are doing currently. You guys are doing a great job by bringing experts and then trying to decode a number of things for a common person. And if you're able to create channels of this nature, avenues through which information can be disseminated, I guess the technology becomes a lot more accessible and the concepts will become easy to understand and probably they become viral over a period of time.
Shubham, the integration of AI into DAOs could revolutionize decision-making processes. What are your thoughts on how AI can enhance or potentially disrupt decentralized governance?
Yeah, so integrating AI into DAO governance holds incredible promise, but also, it introduces significant complexity as well. So, on positive side, AI could drastically enhance DAOs by automating the routine decisions, analyzing, the vesting data or, the huge data sets that are there for routine decision making to guide the stakeholders, predicting the outcome, improve their decision making quality. So these are all the positive side of it. However, reliance on AI might disrupt decentralization. So imagine if decision making becomes overly dependent on opaque algorithms. So rather than collective human judgment, that's a bad thing. So striking a balance is critical. For example, at Kalp, we advocate for symbiotic approach using AI as a tool to inform and enhance human governance decisions. So without overshadowing the community voice, because if AI is used beyond human judgment, it's the community's voice that is usually, slowed down in the whole process. So there should be a critical balance for the whole thing.
Artificial intelligence and blockchain are converging to transform tokenization. This partnership is creating unprecedented opportunities across industries. In practice, AI algorithms analyze market data to optimize token valuations, while smart contracts automate transactions, enabling fractional ownership of illiquid assets. Security is paramount in tokenization. AI systems continuously monitor blockchain transactions, detecting fraud patterns, and ensuring regulatory compliance without human intervention. Looking ahead, AI-enhanced tokenization will enable predictive analytics for investment decisions and autonomous trading across multiple blockchains.
Let's get some rapid-fire questions here. Jason, we'll start with you. What's the one regulation holding back DAO innovation that you wish would disappear overnight?
I think that would be the strict SEC secured scrutiny on tokenized assets, so that hinders DAO treasury and governance token models.
Okay, if blockchain were a superhero, what would its superpower be in transforming organizational governance?
I think its superpower would be transparency. So every decision, it is recorded immediately and free for everybody to see.
What's the most bizarre blockchain use case you've heard that actually made you go, wow, this could work?
So I've heard of blockchain-based digital pigeons that store and transfer encrypted data, but that's not as crazy as it sounds because pigeons, messenger pigeons have been around for a long time and blockchains have been sending messages to each other for a while. You certainly send a message from one blockchain to another. So it's not a crazy idea.
You've worked across EMEA and APAC. Which region do you think is most ready for DAO revolution?
I think I would definitely say APAC because they've got very progressive regulatory approaches, particularly in countries like Singapore and the UAE.
Okay, Rajesh, over to you. If DAOs were a music genre, what would they sound like and why?
Yeah, I would say classical with nature sounds because it's age-old, but it's innovative and soothing. So I would go with that.
Okay. What's the most outrageous prediction about decentralized tech that you secretly believe might come true?
I think over a period of time, nations adopting DAOs for governance when it comes to governance to citizen related issues. That's bound to happen over a period of time.
If you could teleport one blockchain concept into traditional corporate boardrooms, what would it be?
It would be decentralization from a decision-making perspective and complete transparency in terms of the decisions made.
Between DeFi, AI, DPI, and DAOs, which technology keeps you up with excitement at night?
Undoubtedly, it is DAO because the other aspects are facilitating technologies which make DAO a lot more effective, intelligent, and self-executed.
I want to thank our guests for today's great insights. Wow, what a journey this has been. From the foundations of tokenization to the game-changing world of DAOs, we've explored how decentralized finance, digital assets, and Web3 are reshaping the way we think about money, ownership, and governance. Over the course of Token Money Magnet, we haven't just talked about the future, we've built a community that's stepping into it, token by token. And if you've been with us since the beginning, you know this isn't the end. This is just the beginning of a new financial era. A huge thank you to all our guests, and most importantly, you, our viewers, for being part of this incredible first season. But don't go anywhere because the world of tokenization is only getting bigger and Token Money Magnet will be right there with you. And if you want to keep learning, head over to the Token Money Magnet YouTube channel where you'll find all our episodes along with deep dive explanatory videos on different topics of real-world asset tokenization. I'm Dan Geltrude, signing off for now, but until we meet again, stay curious, stay engaged, and most importantly, keep expanding your knowledge.
Welcome to the Token Money Magnet mobile app. Getting started is simple. This is your dashboard. Here you can explore a list of episodes from our groundbreaking series, Token Money Magnet. Click on View Tasks under any episode to see the tasks aligned with it. To claim tokens, you need to link your social media accounts like Twitter, X, and YouTube. You can now start completing tasks. For every task you complete, points will be automatically credited to your wallet. Curious to see who's leading the race? Head over to the leaderboard section. Simply click on Watch Episode to enjoy exclusive content. Scan the QR code to download the app now and claim your tokens.